Yo, 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 what is going on, COD Familia? It is your boy, BN, aka BN. Today, we are going to be going through some Discord drama. And this started from a comment that Sneaky had made on my reaction video to his video about quitting Call of Dragons. Now, what some people might find funny is that me and Sneaky are cool. And we had a laugh about this in DMs, but people were kind of going back on the Discord about this. And also that some people who did watch the video, however many it may have been, clearly either didn't watch the video in its entirety for my reaction part, because some people thought that I was bashing Sneaky or I was being negative towards him. And actually, most of my points were in agreement of what Sneaky was talking about. Not everything, but most of them. And even Sneaky acknowledged this. It was kind of funny. But however, it started with this post, and I want to go through some of the chat because some of the stuff is crazy, but it also opens up an interesting conversation topic, which is the different types of CCs and how some CCs can be successful by doing different things. But the community has their own thoughts on this, which I think is interesting in its own right. So we're going to go through this. As always, if you enjoy the content, make sure you throw us up, because it helps out a lot. Thanks. Do it or I'll find you. So Sneaky started off commenting, right? The comment section just shows exactly why I'm leaving. PS, pick a time and place BN. So someone said BN cleans the floor with you. I don't know why. I don't know where this is coming from or why people would upvote this. Right, keep proving the point. Pick a time, stop acting tough. You run away from Master Ridge, tail tucked behind your arse. I don't know what that's about. What are you talking about? The unstable guy throws a random slurs for clicks. Sure, man. Keep proving the point of video. Keep proving how mature you are, calling BN out for a fight. Brother, you look like you couldn't fly. I get comment sections are interesting. However, the chat is where things start to heat up a little bit. So just kind of starting right. So, bro, I was reading those comments and dying for like a good 20 minutes. Someone said Sneaky was getting cooked. Pick a time and place. What video boss asks about Sneaky quitting? Be a new video for Sneaky. Are you people making memeing Sneaky? Send the link. I joined. Sneaky wants to fight BN, which again, I don't think there's any level of seriousness, if you will, right? Then someone posted the video. Someone said BN would mop the floor with him. First off, listen, I'm a lover, not a fighter. Sneaky is the lightest high weights. What is happening here? Okay, we need the fight. I agree. Where's Jason to sponsor it and YY? Oh, that's okay. That one was kind of funny. Whereas we have a proposal: set up a cage match between P and Sneaky. They each get a month of training. Oh, geez, road championships featuring Sneaky and BN fight. Actually, that would be pretty cool if we could co-commentate. I know it's funny we've talked about doing stuff like that, co-casting. Clan says BN low-key leached views by drama baiting on Sneaky cheat move. I mean, first off, keep in mind, I've done a lot of these reaction videos to people that have made quitting videos, so it's all pretty standard, and my titles have all been pretty consistent when people have quit too as well. I think I did one when Omni said he was leaving, when Chinchi said he was leaving. There was one that I think when Meower was leaving. So again, right, it's not the first time. It's been pretty consistent. Being a demon for real. Damn, bro. It's coming out like, just like, okay, all right. I mean, to each their own. One doesn't know how to fight. Other one doesn't play the game. Well, I mean, first off, I think what they mean is playing the game as far as fighting out in the field. More specifically. Is this true? Because keep in mind, if I never played the game, I would have never been playing it in beta prior to. So again, okay to say that, but let's just be specific with the details. Thank you. Is this true? I feel like he made this video just because he didn't get invited to the creator event. Sad to see. Doubt he will quit the game just having a temper tantrum. So again, I don't know. Like I said, I don't know the reason behind exactly. I think, Sneaky's made a couple of these videos about quitting, leaving, kind of the implication of slowing down content. And I think they've all been at times where something had happened in the game. And it wasn't like he was doing this every month, right? They were spread out as well. So I imagine it was more of like, hey, he's kind of almost doing it as a way to summarize how he feels so far about the state of the game, right? But just obviously titling the video as so. I never thought Sneaky was going to catch strays from another content creator, and that to someone who doesn't play. It's just so funny. Oh gosh. Okay, hang on, wait. All I can say is that the moment Sneaky decided to make less content for COD and said he wanted to leave and go to another game, COD became super amazing in many events and new season 3. What? I think these were things that were probably going to happen anyways. Okay. Loki, Sneaky, sympathy baiting, and being drama baiting, sad clickbait behavior, and they gonna blame us when their views tank. You know, shockingly, listen, man, I love COD. I still play the game, even if it's just semi-actively on my semi-active account in 65. Back before I was playing, you know, probably 12 hours a day. You know, back at least when 65 was out again. Post 65, it's been a while. But I think it's important to keep up with things, right? So always making sure that we're reading up on any new patch notes, Q&As, dev feedbacks. I mean, the thing is, I keep up with those things a lot more than an average player who plays the game hours a day, right? And on top of, I very much like to go in and walk through what those updates look like in the game. Now, as I've stated before, I don't typically speak on things that I'm not very privy to. So if I don't know a lot about war pets, I don't know a lot about, you know, the inner workings of hero matchups, as an example, or what every single artifact does. Those types of things you will not ever hear me speak about in-depthly, right? Or with any kind of, I don't want to say context, but expertise. And I think it's important that, you know, we know kind of where we stand. And now if I all of a sudden start doing a lot more education on those things and I start reading up a lot more and studying those areas, then I'm okay with speaking to those in a more complex manner. But this is just simply, if you're not familiar with something, do not try to be an expert on it. I think that is probably just a general common sense rule of life. Okay. So I just see Sneaky literally only made the video because he didn't get invited to the creator event. Sneaky was watching the entire event. Guns' stream. Shiitake content for real. What is going on with this, dude? BN stream probably. I did. Yeah, again, I did stream. Man, I had so much fun in the event. It was a blast. And again, as I've said this before, man, huge shout out to Mark and NTS for doing so much work, and some of the other people who managed as the officers and management team for the event, because they did a lot. And they very much helped me out. And I know they helped other people out, because the other people that spoke up about this when we did this, when they had the CC meeting and post-event, when we were all in the CCVC for the, while we were all playing, and then post. Oh, sorry, low-key, how did PN get invited to the event? Bro said pick a place that how many subs does BN have, because he makes videos every day on COD and only COD. Well, technically not only COD, but mostly COD. For this video should be a minus now. Generally enjoys doing data for the game. 120 was fine, no need. Oh, here we go. Nah, everyone loves BN. Well, thank you, Jasper. I appreciate that, man. I love everyone. Again, I don't think I've ever made a video that has attacked anyone or has, you know, me calling people names or using derogatory language towards people or telling people how much they suck. It's just not my thing. But again, I do understand that one of the areas I cover is news. And not all news can be perceived as good news or positive. And however, it's never my intent to cast or to perceive or to make my view something that's not objective, right? Which is very much why you often see me reading feedback or experiences, sharing someone's POV on a situation that they were in, and trying to do my best to cover both sides of it, and then giving my opinion on what I think about it. But yeah, that's one of the areas that I know could be perceived sometimes negatively, right, for the people that it may be about. CC's kind of invited, and BN is a CC. Yeah, but he doesn't play. Threster's like, and I appreciate Threster coming, because I do play technically. It's just that I do not fight out in the battlefield. And I do not play more than kind of a semi-active amount per day. As I've said, I'll go in and do some of my dailies. I'll go in and help. I'll do some basic things on my account. You know, I'll respond to messages. I'll look around if there's anything new. But I'm not, trying to min-max grind every single event. I'm not trying to, I'm not really participating in any of like the raids and stuff. And 65 isn't as though it's super active at the moment anyways, right? So it's not as though there's people that are planning events in the kingdom that I'm in. It's very super low maintenance, right? For where I'm at currently. But I've been here since I started the 65 project. So again, I do still play, but I always like to make sure I'm very transparent with how much I'm playing so people have a good understanding. But again, thank you, Thruster. I appreciate coming to the rescue. He still does content on the game, though, because that's not part of the game he enjoys. You know what? I like Jasper's reaction here. However, it's not, just to clarify, it's not necessarily me playing actively and grinding out is not a part of the game I enjoy. It's just that based on, and I've always said this, I've been very consistent, based on the limited amount of time that I have, I enjoy doing content a lot more than the amount of time I would need to actively play an account where I feel I would get, it would be worthwhile. Like I would get something out of it, or I would be able to do something for the community on that. And that's just because I spend so much time chasing down news stories for news content, if I'm doing interviews, if I am doing data-related content, if I'm covering updates on the game, or anything else that I'm speaking on. Like that stuff behind the scenes takes a lot of work. A good example is for those of you that were in the live stream last night, going into the 15th at Reset, when we announced all of the G2 KVK groups, and you just saw me plugging all the data, and it took me about 2 hours just to do that one thing, which was not only collecting all the groups, but then porting over all the data as well to the sheet. Those are the kinds of things that I'm often doing. So there's a lot of behind the scenes work that goes into it. But for me, I love it. It's enjoyable. I think I have a great time doing it. But that's just because I'm also realistic about the amount of time that I have and where I want to prioritize and allocate it to. But again, I appreciate that. COD boxing when hyper. That's funny. But your part, BN's actually in-game collecting data and stuff, and any time spent in-game is counted as playing. Okay, I appreciate that. I don't know. I enjoy BN's vids, to be honest. He clearly enjoys doing data and stuff, fighting or doing data. Yeah, that's right. Community contributor is definitely something BN does. I appreciate that. Okay, thank you. I'll take that. Little side title. Okay. I fancy a fight tonight, Lexi. That's violent, damn girl. Exactly. Plus, if he doesn't do it, who the F will? I mean, that's a good point, right? I mean, so this is my thing, right? Back when I was doing Rock and playing Rock, even when I was playing Infinity Kingdom after Rock, nobody ever did data stuff. If you go in Infinity Kingdom and you type in my name, or you type in like BN data, you even just keyword search data, right? Probably on the IK Discord, you will see people, because I've done this even like a year after I've left, and you'll see people that will still refer to me and say like, dude, all the data BN did was great. Like, it's one of those things that's very missed in the community, because obviously in these types of games, it's so much more sought after than I think people really think. And so again, I appreciate when people see the value in something, whether it's something I do, if it's something someone else does. Again, it is appreciated because there is a lot of work that does go into it. And so for me, I just think it's really important that when I started covering data and I really started ramping up in Infinity Kingdom, and obviously working with Fuzzy now and the data bot, it's been such a joy, such a pleasure, right? There will be some growing pains here and there, right? As things get worked out and updates are made. I have no qualms about that. I'm just excited that we're able to do things and start getting into a rhythm of providing accurate, quality data, right, up to at all times, right? Because that's always going to be the plan. And that's always the expectation, is to be able to do that. But being able to also have those things readily available before KVK groups matchups start, before KVK seasons start, during the pre-KVK timeline. So again, hopefully before matchups, when we figure out who's registered or not, and then maybe even eventually doing stuff during KVK and then kind of post-KVK like season reviews. That's my hope. And obviously, eventually to do those things, that's one of the things that Fuzzy's been working on, is trying to get the bot to a point where, one, everything looks really good. It's all accurate. It's up to date, but there's also daily scans that are being done that I'll just have access to, because that'll just open up a whole new world for me. And I'm talking Aladdin on the carpet style with Jasmine. Continuing though, a funny community contributor, BN's vids are for data analysis, at least one part of it. He shouldn't do this cheap drama releases. It was just sad to watch him taking a dig on a fellow CC, no matter how dorky he might be. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. Dorkness is at an all-time high. However, remember, it wasn't a dig, right? These are things that I've done quite a few. Right? I've done quite a few of these. And again, Sneaky didn't take it as a dig. And if people watched the video the whole way, they would understand that the majority of it was me actually agreeing with the points he made. Right, facts. Being able to see Alliance power stats without spending hours on data is awesome. You're welcome. Painful. Again, man, this is stuff I enjoy. Like, I love this stuff. I love, and what you'll notice is that most of the sheets that I do, I usually will have a public version of the sheet outside of my master, and that's so it can be readily available for you, the community. I love being able to provide that stuff, and I don't charge anything for it. It's just something I love doing. My compensation, if anything, is the fact that people enjoy watching and they get something out of it. Right? And that can translate to me hopefully growing my channel. But yeah, you've never seen me charge for anything like that. It's never been something that was ever a thought. It was always, how can I make what I'm already doing more efficient? And then once I feel like I have a really good system in place, go ahead and try and make as much of that as I can public, right? Whether it's a full release or kind of a periodic release or a timed release, if you will. When you were especially talking Sneaky, it's okay, you guys, man. I don't know. I feel like BN more of a news channel more than anything. People's like BN makes videos on everything. I mean, to be fair, I do. Like I've said, there's a number of things that I do videos on. I mean, we even did a video recently on where I reached out to the top 200 strongest players in the game based on historical power from a recent data pool or a recent game scan. And I asked everyone how much money they spent. Like, what's the total amount of money you spend on your account, and what's like your monthly spend, right? I think initially I said daily, weekly, monthly, but most people kind of gave me a monthly spend. And we ended up getting about 20%, a little more than 20%, right? So a fifth of people that had responded. And it was awesome, man. It was so cool to do something like that, to kind of put those transparent numbers out there for the community to see, and the fact that as many people in the top 200 of the entire game were willing to share that information with me. And again, we kept everyone anonymous, and I said that's how I was going to do it the first time around. And I thought the video did really good. Like, it was awesome to see people that were willing to share that information, which basically is their financial records, right? And they were okay with that, and they trusted me to deliver it in the way that I said I was going to. So I feel like here's the trauma alert of COD. I don't know about that, but I do like making videos on situations that could be perceived as having some drama, right? Or being full drama. But for me, it's always about having a creative spin on it. So anything that you ever see me do, if it is something drama related, there's always going to be something educational that I'll work into it. And that's because I think it's really important on what's the takeaway? What can we learn from this situation? So you're always going to hear me work something in around that. Felt like Sneaky got shiitake on by the community for his dumb quitting vid, and BN just washed his hands in a Tucci's. Oh gosh, man, really stretching that there. Excuse me. I don't know. I like Sneaky's vids whenever he goes over New Hero, but I don't think he plays the game much at all. I mean, again, I think Sneaky still might play more than me, really, which I guess is probably not even something to say, because probably everyone really plays more than me. I think bro like 6 million merits the past few seasons. He discovers content without actual fighting. Which doesn't make too much sense. If I have more merits than someone, especially a CC, you know something ain't right. The thing is, I don't necessarily know if I agree with that. I think if you are a CC, and let's say your focus as a CC, the way that you are promoting yourself is that of someone who's a fighter, you're on the front lines, and on top of which you are setting expectations and standards that you are a top fighter, and you're always going to have consistently good merits, and maybe you're doing something else where you're maybe comparing yourself. I don't think any CC is comparing themselves against someone else and like trying to do it in some kind of aggressive or competitive way. So yeah, I don't know if I necessarily agree with that one. A CC can be a bad player just because someone has a mic and cam doesn't mean they'll be smoking marches. I mean, touche. Let me see. I like Seeking in terms of calling COD updates for what it is, but he only does it because he's not a COD partner. I don't think he generally would do it if he was taking COD more serious. I mean, maybe. I mean, Siki has always been pretty transparent and pretty vocal, and I would argue pretty objective. From his point of view. I heard he's going full time selling his feed pics. Exactly, BN is this, and he's still one of the best CCs in the community, which is why he was invited to that event. I mean, listen, man. My thing is, like, if you're going to invite me to an event like that and I'm going to fight, I need to at least try to put forth a good effort. And I felt like I did put forth a good effort, right? I studied what was provided. I set up all my stuff beforehand. I joined in on the VC that they did leading up. I was following directions. They gave me a pretty easy role in that event, right? Because it was just me and a small group, a handful of players on that left side there, where we were just basically guarding. We were like guarding the tower and then flex assisting over on the right side where most of the fighting was. And even though I think I was like bottom 5 or bottom 10 in merits, that also makes sense because I would imagine because there wasn't too many people that were really fighting on the left side. It wasn't getting like there was, 70, not even 70, like 50, I don't know, 50 or so people that were constantly fighting on the right side. And on the left side, it was maybe up to 10, 5 to 10, give or take. So yeah. But yeah, that's just how it looked to me. I just remembered your FSK and you guys hate PN, so your opinion is now irrelevant. Oh man, I don't know. I mean, listen, man. And the thing is, I don't know if they hate me or not because I haven't talked to anyone. The only thing I know about FSK is what I've told everyone, is that Kyle initially blocked me for what I felt was a misunderstanding, and I've explained the situation multiple times. I tried to reach out and explain that it wasn't that way. And I believe that message got through, but Kyle still hasn't unblocked me. And then I had reached out to the other officers in FSK, I think for some things that were related and then other things that were not. But it was never anything mean or aggressive. And I didn't sit here and message people every single day for a week or a month. Nothing like that. But then eventually all their officers blocked me. And I don't know why they did. No one up to this point has given me an explanation on why it is that I'm blocked and why it is that no one from the FSK leadership, starting with Kyle and then trickling down, just doesn't reply or why they have me blocked. I have not got a single response or reasoning. And that's completely fine. I just want to at least state that for the record because I've mentioned it a couple times. Lexi's like, not allowed to hate BN. I appreciate that, Lexi. Thank you, Lexi. BN puts in a ton of time to the game collecting data. People watch his vids, and it's different from other CCs. Yeah, it is different from other CCs. That's one of the things that I felt I really wanted to enjoy and try and stand out from. I don't even know FSK BN beef. I've been in FSK for 3 seasons. My views are strictly pragmatic. Listen, man, I don't know the beef either, so we in the same pool. I probably watch BN more than any other creator, to be honest. Okay, appreciate that. To be a CC, you don't have to play the game. I appreciate the rest of coming in with some strong words of wisdom. You technically don't have to play the game to be a CC. You just have to make content about the game. That's absolutely true. There's nothing in the CC agreement that states that you have to play the game in order to be a CC. Agreed. But would that count as playing the game? Because like you watch me more. Anytime the game is open is playing, even if you're farming and shit. Yeah. As you can still contribute to the community without playing, which is what BN does, and it's fine. If data collecting doesn't count, neither does farming. I mean, maybe. The thing is, I have to go in and click stuff on the game. I guess you're clicking and farming. The only difference is I'm just clicking stats. You're clicking resources. You don't need to play the game to be invited to the CC event, bro. Let me see. This is what was being discussed. I was merely making an argument that BN is a CC who doesn't play the game. His content is everything but actual gameplay. That's not necessarily true. I do make content about some gameplay, right? So if I'm doing content about wars, and I think more specifically what you mean is recent content has not been as much content about in-game play. But remember, I used to do a lot of war coverage doing that, and I also used to do a lot of content on game, and I'll still do kind of every so often, I'll do a video about a new player experience or how to do a jumper account that does require playing and going through an account in game. Again, just to state that. Let me see. So you think Sneaky should have gotten invited over BN? I mean, I would have loved for Sneaky to get invited. It doesn't matter to me. Like I said, man, no one I think got asked to be invited. It was just, hey, here's the event. And then would you like to participate? I believe that was essentially the steps. He does invite, but he's still playing, still technically game. Bruh, it ain't that deep. It's not that deep. I would agree. I don't care who got invited. Sticky a beach for crying over getting invited. Me, I took a cheap shot. I thought, man, what's up with this cheap shot stuff and like just this name calling? Gosh. Content is content. Yeah. Sticky 100% should have got invited to the event. Yeah, I would have been happy if Sticky got invited. Like I said, I don't know if it was because they were only inviting people that were officially a part of the CC program. That was my understanding. This is a good clip too as well. Sneaky had made enough content to get invited, by the way. Yeah. His content was catered to a large majority of the population. Hasn't he had beef with the CC team and stuff before, though? Allowed. I'm trying to think. I thought I saw some people say some other stuff. Oh, yeah. So this is where it kind of started to get slightly interesting, where Clan then said, so reacted, content is content, agreed. And the question now is, do you think BN is a player CC or just CC? So this is where like it transitioned from the initial point of I'm a CC, but I don't play the game. And now it's, okay, are we a player CC or just a CC? So now they're like trying to subdivide and subcategorize CCs. And then Painful's like, there's no such thing as a player CC. A CC is a CC. You make content about the game, symbols that. And then Clan's like, bro, what is Guns? I mean, Guns is a player CC. And then Jeff's like, Guns is a CC. He makes vids of the games. And it's interesting how like it tried to like diffuse and differentiate. And it just keeps going. It ain't that tough, plays the game. Guns is a new player CC. I'm done. If you make videos for the game, you're a content creator for the game. But yeah, I think that's pretty simple. I don't know what your original point was. It feels like it's getting a little lost in translation. Right, so you're just trying to supply the definition of a content creator. You're missing the entire point of the discussion. I don't know either, but apparently I'm leaving with the knowledge that Guns isn't a player CC, but just a CC. Pretty sure he was upset that BN got invited to the fight versus Sticky not. Are you serious? And then let me see. I think we're probably getting maybe a little bit to the end here on the stuff for what we got. I'm confused. There's like 5 arguments happening at one. Delete the last 30 minutes of chat. We all good, I guess. Okay, yeah. So I think we're probably there. Burgess would fold BN and Sticky at the same time. Gosh, man, why? I mean, Burgess is nice, man. What drama? Hawkston would smack them all. We would make Master Rich quit. What? Master Rich, low-key my favorite CC. I haven't watched a vid on him in months. Okay, that's funny. I would just say Sneaky, a beach for sympathy, baiting over not getting invited. BN took a cheap shot at fellow CC. Virjama, Guns is a player CC, not just CC. This is not financial advice. Oh, God, it's so funny. CC making content for the game, but as long as it's about CallofDragons, yeah. BN makes vids on everything. I want to consider it a cheap shot. Is equal to a player who's also a CC of the game? No. And let me see here. That's like, okay, please explain the difference. I'm curious. Player CC is something you just made up. Player and CC is what you're looking for. There's no difference because one doesn't even exist. A CC can indicate someone who covers the game and or plays the game at all. That's like calling BN a data CC. What is that? I mean, that's a good point. I think that's a good point. Oh, God, that's pretty funny. CC is a broad term that can mean a bunch of stuff. Yeah. I think we're pretty good, man. As long as you make content about the game, drama, gameplay highlights, your memes, you're a CC. I was referring to Guns as a player CC, meaning he is a player who is a COD CC that would make CC, and BN is a CC that doesn't, but he's still CC regardless because he makes content about the game. He's a CC that covers the state of the game with Trump power rankings. Pros cooking. This is Sneaky Burial. What, Timmy? BN still a player. I think I'm still a player. I'm just realistic about how much I play. Duck state of the game, things like YouTubers, but you don't see people. Oh my God, you're not playing the game. How dare you call yourself a content creator? Yeah. Oh no, here we go. Scroll up. No one's arguing if being a CC or if he shouldn't have been invited. How BN not a player? He got 624 characters. I do have a lot of characters. Remember after that KVK with the TMTM, thought he had a spot in GG. Let's see here. Technically you can play the game without playing. Oh, Shiitake BN here. I made all the players. Oh, did I post and I just missed it? Maybe. If BN is pulling data from alliances, technically he's playing the game. Data pooling is playing the game now. If he isn't in the game, no, still make content for the game, still be a CC. BN has more time logins and time played. Probably do. I mean, I'm in the game a lot on my 2 instances. BN probably has more hours in game than most people for real. Yeah, but he's in the game pulling numbers a lot of the time. Yeah, usually it's pulling numbers, going into different kingdoms, taking a look, also just chatting with a lot of people too as well. Um, what's even happening? Too many things happening at once. Which one do you want discussed? What? Oh god, I don't know. People sneaky. Oh wait. Oh, I said everywhere. Spelling. Okay, I think we're probably done more or less at this point. So yeah, there was a lot here in this one. Pretty wild for all the stuff that was touched on and talked about. And yeah, I guess overall, what are my thoughts on this? Simply put, I think, man, I think for me, and this is something that I've mentioned before, when I was initially starting to do content, and I was doing a lot of content without necessarily playing as much, and this was kind of like after the 65 stuff, I remember having conversations with, and even a little before too, as well, I should say, with Meower, with Sneaky, and there was always that thing on early on where they would, I remember them telling me at some point or mentioning it on how I'm doing content without like really playing the game as actively as others. And my whole thing is, as a content creator, it's really about finding a creative way and maybe a niche here and there to where you can produce content. The whole idea of being a content creator, right, especially if you want to grow, is trying to produce content, one, and this is kind of like and or ors, that either no one else is doing, two, content that you find passion in producing, and then three, doing content that you know that it's something you can wake up every day to keep doing. And hopefully, and I guess if there's a 4 or a 3 for, it's that you feel like this is content people would enjoy watching. And for me, I feel like I kind of hit all those nails on the head. And for me, it's just really about trying to put out content that I really hope people will enjoy, but also these are content that I enjoy. And it's things that I feel like it's not really being done a lot by people. And I'll add this in as a last point, right? I caught a clip or maybe a brief part of Guns' stream last night. And there was a section in there where someone had shared with him their own like data sheet for their alliance or something, I think it was, or it was on that KVK. And I remember seeing or hearing Guns say right after that, maybe we're going to start getting more into the data game. And maybe we'll do a data video on matchups or maybe cover other groups. I think this is more or less something that he had said. And what's interesting about that is, keep in mind, before I started really doing data stuff consistently, there really wasn't anyone, right? Like I was the first one to really do a lot of database content in CoD. I was the only one really doing any of it in Infinity Kingdom. And even after I started doing database content and really ramping up, I started seeing an uptick in some of the database content that some of the rock content creators were doing. Like there was a time where Chiz, Omni, Shinshi had kind of all put out some database content all around the same time that each other did. And then they were doing it a little more often. Now, that's not to say that they did it because I was doing it. And they have done some database content before. But it was never to the point of where like I felt, okay, well, they're doing it this consistently. So do I think that maybe seeing some of what I was doing could have factored in, even if just only ever so slightly? I think so. But my point overall here is that it is something that is really sought after. And especially if you do it in the right ways, people can enjoy watching that stuff. And so, again, that's just kind of one area of it. But I think that if you start seeing other content creators outside of myself doing more data stuff, even Princess was doing more data related videos on her channel as of late. And it's not to say she's doing them every day, but even she's doing them more with Guns. I think Meower might have done some stuff. I mean, even Killam is doing data stuff for Greatest Heights, and he's doing a great job at that too as well, right? Make sure you guys check him out. So, and then obviously there's even Abda. Like Abda's a new CC as well, and he's been putting out like some really good edited videos on his channel. So make sure you guys give him a watch. Anyways, that's it for me. Let me know what you guys think on the whole, like, is it just a CC thing? Are we breaking CCs up into subcategories? Is this really a big deal to some people? Is it not? Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. That's it for me. As always, until next time, we'll catch you later.